Okay, 5 minutes is nowhere near enough time, but I'm going to try, right? So I had this whole report printed out for judges to do whatever with, but the skills required 3D printing, soldering, original templating, 3 different types of sewing machines, PVC shaping, extensive leatherwork, dremeling, EVA foam, plexiglass, Bondo, independent power sources. Yes, it's recording. 7 different types of adhesive, rub and buff, woodworking, neodymium magnets, custom design harnesses, extensive varieties of paints and dyes, scroll saws, belt sanders, grinder, drill presses, you name it, I used it. Now, that said, start with the Scoutfly cage because everyone seems to love this one. I attached a Bliss laser light to the back of it. It shoots like 1,000 different lasers in every which direction. And I used a piece of threaded PVC from your local Ace Hardware plumbing section and created a cavity for the extra power sources and all the different settings in there. They flicker, they twitch, they turn it off and off, on and off, solid, all that good stuff. Now, that said, this red trim you see here is a buff in the game called Unscathed. When you don't have any damage on you, you get a little bit of boost or something like that. It basically emulates through the whole costume. I didn't want to put that in there, but it was accurate. Everything on the costume is 100% accurate or removable. These little things are never used in the game at all. I didn't want to make them, but they're on the costume, so I did that, including these side daggers. Yeah, very cool. I like them. They're very strong, more PVC, but he never uses them, and it disappoints me. So use rub and buff, a little bit of regular Rust-Oleum paint for a little bit of fatigue in the chrome and all that stuff. The oil paint for fatiguing the patinas that are associated with it. Now, this cosplay has approximately 15 separate functions, and no, that sucks. Whatever, it's strong. 15 separate functions, and one of them is actually adequate sharpening, like in the game. Yes, that's how they sharpen it in the game. I know that's dumb, but this is one of the dual daggers. The Velcana dual daggers. Wow. PVC hilt, hardwood handles, 8 different layers of material, including PVC, Centra PVC for the inner part. This is hardwood on the inside. Used a, a router. That's it, a router for the original edge, and then used the belt sander to finally tune it out. All that good stuff. Held together with some serious amounts of Bondo, so it's particularly strong, yet blunt, so it's not going to be much of a problem for walking around convention. And yes, this is an arrow that's much taller than my roof, but that's how big it is in the game, so that's what I had to do. The bow itself is held together by a locking mechanism I call the Atlas joint. It locks in place as soon as it touches. It's basically a padlock reversed with some elastic bands on the inside. Once it locks, it doesn't undo. Not to mention, it also flexes just like in the game, and it fires pretty adequately as far as a cosplay purpose. It doesn't sounds like 20 feet, but it still works, and that's the point. Now, turning it around to the back side, I really hope I'm not getting close to that 4-minute mark. All handcrafted leather, everything like that. Hid the power source inside the pouch with a magnetic clasps. More magnetic clasps for the other monster knife, in my opinion. This one's much better. I like it a lot better. But they're also very difficult to make. The elbow pads are basically held in place by a few elastic bands hanging down, and there's padding inside to keep it going. Now, what mark are we at now? 3 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay, so, pièce de résistance. Okay, this is the glaive. I can't fit it all in there, but this is the Atlas joint again for the locking snapping mechanism. Once it snaps, that's it. And also, just like in the game, that's how you sharpen it, with a piece of flint bound into the overall frame. Those claws you see are actually 3D printed claws. EVA foam with a little bit of hanger in there for spring. All Bondo, carved individually. Plexiglass and fabric paint so it shines through with light. I have a much better video all over my progress photos for that particular aspect of it. I can't even, it's so big I can't even turn it around in here. Now, that said, here's the ass end and my little princess buddy on it, which attaches directly to my wrist with no problem, with a little strap holding it on. More fabric work, foil foam, EVA foam, leather scales. That's blue insulation with Bondo over the outside of it. This is another piece of leather along with hickory wood. This is a 7-foot hickory staff, carved out individually with a Dremel and a hand file. More PVC for strength purposes to make it actually function. All that good stuff. Oh, don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. Oh, thank you. Now, what are we at now? All right. I think that's the best I can do for that amount of time.